Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 102 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with just Trevor at the moment. We anticipate Damon's going to come crashing through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man at some point and blow up the whole thing that we're doing. But, you know, he's going to be here eventually.
Yeah, he said he'll be a few minutes late, but he will arrive and we will know when he arrives.
Well, the best part will be is we won't notice, and then he'll just all of a sudden pop up and start talking. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how it goes, you know? Oh goodness. I've enjoyed the lively conversation in the group about the Malamar conversation, and then also those things that you were telling us about too.
Nanaimo bars. Yeah.
Yes. I always feel like I'm going to say that wrong. I want to make them now though. They look amazing.
You know, it's funny you say that. I guess I've grown up with the word, like I've had those since I was a kid. So, and it also helps. There's actually a town in British Columbia called Nanaimo. So,
okay.
So it's like, so for us, it's like, yeah, Nanaimo bars, you know, whatever, right?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like I've got some support on my side on the Malamar thing, but you know, it's okay, whatever.
I am curious about them. I actually did look at the grocery store, and we don't have, or at least the grocery store I go to didn't have them. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like a self-contained s'more in a way. It's delicious. I like them anyway. But you know, somebody in the group suggested to put them in the microwave for 4 seconds and eat them. I had never heard that, but that's a good idea too. So
my brother used to microwave marshmallows when he was a kid, and yeah, they get very. They don't toast, but they expand, and they get
blow
very
up.
Gooey on the inside. So I can see that.
Yeah. I've been known to make a microwave s'more here and there, you know, just like if I'm feeling in the mood for a s'more, I'll just throw it in the microwave, and, you know, you put it in there for like 5 seconds and the marshmallow gets real big, real fast. So
yeah, exactly.
It's not the same as a campfire s'more, but, you know, you get all the elements there. So
anyway, so
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say before we get into things. So I want to poll the audience, if that's all right, Tom.
Yeah, no, please.
Yeah. So to give some context, I was talking with my wife about what I want for Christmas, and for the first time in a long time, I realized I have not actually thought about, you know, things that I want for Christmas, and I don't know. So, I guess what the ask is here is, you know, people who are listening, I want to know what kind of stuff you guys are interested in, but also, you know, to kind of help guide this a little bit, I'll say, you know, the things that I am most interested in are, you know, obviously I've talked about video games a lot. I like anime and I like Disney are probably my three, the three big things that I really like, you know, not in that order necessarily. So what I would like is, you know, if you listeners, if you have stuff that, you know, you find interesting, or, you know, stuff that you want for Christmas, I'd like to see some discussion around that in the Welcome Home group this week. So,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm hoping, you know, it'll give me some ideas, cause, you know, it's not that, you know, I have everything and I don't want anything. It's just, I haven't thought about it this year is all.
Yeah.
That just hasn't been at the top of my head, but, you know, I want to hear what you guys are thinking about for Christmas. And I know, you know, I know, like Damon, I can already hear Damon before he even gets in here saying, you know, it's not even Thanksgiving yet for us in Canada.
Damon does his shopping super early though. Like Damon's been doing holiday shopping all year. So I think he'd be with you on this.
And that's fair. Yeah, you're right. But, you know, for us, you know, Thanksgiving's done and we are in full Christmas mode up here. So, you know, let's talk about Christmas.
That's fair. Yeah. I'm actually kind of with you. I have this problem every year though. Like I never know what I want for Christmas because I kind of am just at a point where, like, if I want something, I just buy it. So like, I don't, you know, if I really want something. So, and then I can never think of things that like I want someone to get for me, and it's always a whole thing. And I basically beg my parents these days. I'm like, don't buy me anything, don't give me anything. Spend money on the kid if you want to. Spend money on my daughter. Like, don't spend the money on me, because I don't know what I want. I don't really need anything. So if you want to buy me the $300 Lego Cinderella castle, then sure, I'm in. But you're not going to buy that for me, and I'm not going to buy it because it's $300. So
yeah, and you do bring up a good point. Is this is, I guess, kind of where I am. Is that same thing. Is a lot of what I'm thinking about is what my son wants for Christmas. I'm more focused on him, but I guess in our household at least. We have a rule where, everybody who's there for Christmas gets a gift, yeah. Even if we have people staying over, which, that's not happening this year, but, in the past we've had people stay over, and we always make sure there's a gift for everybody. And, my wife actually brought this up to me because, she's like, I have no idea what you want for Christmas. And then I realized, I'm like, I don't know what I want for Christmas. So, that's going to be hard, right?
See, I'm always like, just don't buy me anything. And then people try to buy me things, and it's rarely something I actually want. I'm just kind of like, okay, great.
Yeah. And I guess, kind of like you said, I take it as an opportunity for somebody to buy me something that I normally wouldn't buy for myself. And, I do keep it reasonable. Like, I don't, I don't ask for like crazy expensive stuff. Like last year, actually, I asked for so I have a Nintendo Switch, and I replaced the outer shell on it with a clear green shell instead of the black plastic.
Oh,
so
cool.
So you can actually buy kits for that. And that's something that I enjoy doing is modifying that stuff. But I already have that now. So it's like, well, what else do I get? Right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to be shopping some Switch games on Black Friday this year, but I feel like I don't want to ask anybody for those. If I just want to buy them, like, and just have them.
Yeah. And that's, when I was younger, I used to ask for video games a lot as well. And kind of the same problem is, right now I have most of the games that I want. I think there's maybe one or two that it's not even that I'm like, I need this game. It's just like, yeah, I might want to play that. But like you said, it's kind of more of a, you buy it when you're ready to play it, not as a gift, right? So
yeah. All right.
But,
well, we'll have to see what everybody has to say about this, because I'm curious too. I mean, it sounds like what you need is for Disney to make an anime video game. That's
I actually found out that they did.
Well, there you go. See that? There's a perfect gift for you.
But it's
Disney
it's in Japan though, so it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not here. It's called Twisted Wonderland or something like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I just happened to find that, but it's like, again, I don't read Japanese, so I can't.
That is a slight issue.
And I know, and I guess before the listeners say it, yes, I know I watch anime, but subtitles or English dubs, I don't like watch it in Japanese. So
I guess
just saying that.
All right.
Anyway,
all right. Well, shall we get to the listener questions?
Yeah, let's do this. Do you want me?
We got
to
some left over from last week. Yeah. So
yeah.
You should probably read this one because it's your wife's question.
Yeah, I probably should. So
not to blow up her spot, but
yeah. So Jennifer asked us, you have the opportunity to talk to Walt Disney for 2 hours. What 3 questions would you ask Walt? And what park would you take Walt to? And what 3 rides would you take Walt on, and why? There's a lot of questions. Yeah. So yeah, I guess it's a multi-stage question. So first of all, you have 2 hours with Walt. I mean, the questions you would ask him, like, I guess, it's hard, right? Because you could go down all kinds of rabbit holes. I guess I would keep it. I guess the first thing I would probably ask Walt is, what do you think about how the parks look now? Like,
yeah, that'd probably be one of my questions too.
Yeah. Because, he would only know of, Disneyland. He wouldn't know of California Adventure, or he would, that would be new since he passed away. Same thing with Disney World is, all of that got built after he passed away. So, I guess I would probably ask him what his thoughts are on the different parks, and I guess Epcot specifically, because Epcot was something that he had planned as a city, and it became
I feel like that would be a major disappointment to him.
Possibly, but I also feel that he wouldn't necessarily, be like, this is awful. Like, I think he would understand it, and I think he would definitely have a unique perspective on it.
Yeah.
What about
you? I agree. I think that's a good question. About what the parks would look like. That's kind of what my question was too. I'd be interested to see what he think of like what the company's become though too. They were doing well financially back when he died, but now that it's just like this gigantic corporation that reaches out to so many different things, I wonder what he would think about that. And also, I kind of wonder what he would think of like the Disney Renaissance, like the movies of the 90s,
That's
like,
a good point. Yeah.
Like, how would he feel about those movies? I mean, I doubt he would dislike them, but I'd just be curious. And I also would, want him to watch like you only have 2 hours with him though. So this is the problem, right? So like, I would love for him to watch like a Toy Story, right? Like a computer animated movie and be like, just blow his mind and find out like what he felt about that.
I think he would be very accepting of it because of the fact that he was pioneering a lot of technology back in the day around animation. Yeah, so he would just see it as an evolution of what he was doing. I agree. That's my take on that. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And then, okay, taking him to a different parks, I guess I would say, I guess
Epcot before, right?
Yeah. Epcot would be like, not Epcot right now though. That's the thing. Epcot's under way too much construction. I would wait until, Epcot's a little more, together. But yeah, I would be curious what his take on Epcot would be.
I would want to take him to Animal Kingdom, and the biggest reason why is I'd want to take him on the safari because the whole thing with the safari, the whole thought around that was originally he wanted the Jungle Cruise to have real animals in it, and they could never figure that out in his day, right? And then, they figured out in the future how to make that happen. Now it's not the Jungle Cruise, as it originally was, but it's with real animals. It's a real safari.
Idea.
Yeah, it's that idea of having real animals involved. So I think that would be cool. I feel like I don't want to like go all one park though. Like I feel like I want to take them on different rides at every park,
You know what ride I would definitely want to take him on, even though I haven't been on it myself, is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
I was gonna say that one too because it's the first Mickey ride, right? So
yeah, like that would be huge. Telling him, hey, Mickey Mouse has a ride. It only took 50 years.
Basically, exactly. Yeah. So that's a good call. I think that would be a good one. Now we got to think of another one. How about like a Rise of the Resistance, just as like a whoa, this technology is crazy. Like this is a mind blowing experience kind of thing.
Well, and here's the interesting thing is that he would have no context. Imagine showing Star Wars to someone who has no context of what Star Wars is, because he wouldn't, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what though? Like it's funny though because Star Wars is one of those weird things. Like just when I went in October, the last time I went, and I had my parents with me, neither one of them were into Star Wars, but they got it. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we went to Galaxy's Edge, like they understood what was going on. Now they might not have understood like all the references and all the different things, but they, still enjoyed themselves on the Millennium Falcon ride, right? Like they still had a lot of fun doing that. It just meant something different to them than a hardcore Star Wars fan.
Yeah, and the thing is Star Wars is now a cultural phenomenon. So it's, like you said, everybody kind of, even if you don't know what it is, you get it. So, showing it to Walt Disney would be like,
completely new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally true. Hey, Damon, thanks for joining.
Hey.
We just thought you were going to bust in and start talking.
No, I didn't have the info up without the info.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Please don't tell me you're on like question A, are we?
Yeah. We had a bit of a discussion before this about Christmas gifts. So we got a little slow start.
Okay.
Yeah. What? But okay. So we're on letter B though now. We'll do letter B.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't talk to Walt at all. I don't think it would be worth it for what New Disney is like. It means nothing.
Well, that's what we're wondering, like how we'd react.
I wouldn't even bother because it's not his Disney anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. That's a good answer. So Mary asked, Disney calls you looking for advice. They want to do something special for DVC members this year. What would you suggest they do for all members? What extra would you tell them for Blue Card members?
Regular DVC people get nothing. And Blue Card
Wait, what does that mean? What do you mean regular DVC people?
Non-Blue Card people get nothing. And Blue Card people... I mean, what could you really do? The only thing that would even be like something that's possible to do is like a print or something. I mean, that's all you're really talking about at this point because they're not going to spend money. They can't. But a print would be something that might be doable. That's what I would suggest. Because again, I would love tons of stuff, but what are you doing? Like, they have no money to do stuff.
You wouldn't ask for a plaque because they have the money from the canceled Moonlight Magic events?
No, I'd take a print though. I'd take a numbered print. How's that?
Not just like one of those prints they send you after your vacation anyway.
No. It's got to be numbered, and they only make them for Blue Card members. That's it. And they would be numbered from 1 to however many Blue Card members exist today.
10,000 or
whatever it exists. That's it.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I think the big thing is we still need to find out is if they're going to return any dues. It's funny because I saw people commenting, and we'll talk about the dues in a few minutes here, but about next year's dues, and they're like, "Well, guess they're not going to give us anything back." Well, they're 2 different years. It's they could still give us stuff back this year, even though dues are going up next year. So we really don't know what that's going to look like. But I don't really know what they can give us, right? I mean, there's only so much you can do. I think it would be nice. They used to give a Christmas tree ornament every year if you went to like the party that they used to throw around the holidays. That'd be nice if they sent everybody a cool like DVC Christmas ornament.
That would be kind of cool. Or how about just you bring back the things that go on magic bands, but you have to make them now for something different, right? Because there are no magic bands. Or do you keep them just for magic bands? Bring those back might be interesting. I would say DVC people would be more apt to Magic Band, I think, still.
Yeah, like maybe give them a promo where you still get the free Magic Bands or something like that.
No. I'm talking about the slip-on thing that went around it that said Disney Vacation Club on the Magic Band, the slider.
The sliders?
The sliders.
Yeah. People would be very happy to get sliders again.
And again, they're like nothing, right? Like nothing. I would say if you did a 2020 slider for the Magic Bands. And again, like, I guess what I was saying is that, I could be totally off base here, but I would think that more people, DVC, would be apt to continue Magic Band usage.
I agree with that. And I want sliders because I only have one pass holder slider. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm going to keep using Magic Bands. I like the convenience of Magic Bands. I wish I had a Magic Band in my everyday life. So I'm all for Magic Bands everywhere and all the time. So.
Well, you can kind of do that with your Apple Watch. But,
I do. Yeah. I do. I do pay for things contactless, with my phone or, with a smartwatch. So I do that, but it's, I like the getting into, like, if I could get into my doors with a Magic Band and, I like doing everything with it. It's just very convenient. So.
Well, again, you can do that. You just have to set it up. I guess that's the problem is like, it's all the setup.
It's a lot of work to set all that up. So, do you want to read Tanya's question?
Sure.
This is tough because it's really hard to keep track of what's actually open at the moment. So
So Tanya asks us, what is the best in-park sit-down restaurants that are actually open right now for young kids, 5 and 2? Sorry. Even with normalcy, we don't do character dining. But now that we're DVC members, we're looking for something more reasonable that kids will at least tolerate. And then, she lists a couple of things that she was thinking. So San Angel in the Mexico Pavilion, Skipper's Canteen, and Hollywood Studios, the 50s Primetime Diner. Of those three, I would personally go for the Primetime Diner. I really enjoy that restaurant, and I think it's definitely got a good kids atmosphere. It's entertaining for them, I think. Honestly, I took my son to Skipper Canteen, And the food selection was not great for kids. Like even the kids
It's
menu.
a little out there.
Yeah.
A little out there.
Yeah. My son did not enjoy, like, he's been really good about trying new things. And the Skipper Canteen was actually one of those restaurants that he did not enjoy his meal very much. It was great for, me and, for the adult meals, but, I wouldn't take the kids there personally.
I agree with that. I liked it as a restaurant. I think I went there like a week after it opened. I was there like right at opening, and it was good. But it had some more adventurous choices on it. And now, given I haven't eaten there in a while, so maybe it's gotten a little bit better. But I don't know. The last time I was there, the choices were a little bit off. Off the beaten path, I'd say. No,
and I know Tanya says that she doesn't normally do character dining. But I will still advocate for Garden Grill. Because even outside of the fact that it is character dining, I feel that it's a really good meal otherwise. And even I took my parents there who also, don't like when we were kids, they refused to do character dining. They were never like into that. They weren't so much into the character interactions either when we went, but they said, that was a really good, they really enjoyed the meal. Like and the thing about it is it's not a buffet. It's not I know the buffets are generally good, but buffet food is not always the best you can get. So I would definitely add Garden Grill to your list of considerations. Again, I understand, the character dining can be a turnoff, but I still believe it's a good meal. And again, it kind of fits your criteria of, something for the young kids.
And if I were to pick, I've eaten at all three of these. I've eaten at 50s several times. I've eaten at San Angel, and I don't think San Angel's bad. I think it's okay. It's not my favorite that I've ever been to. Personally, if it were me in Epcot, I would go via Napoli, but that's, I think I've made it very clear on this show that that's like my favorite restaurant in Epcot, just because of how good the food is there. And it's got a fun atmosphere there too. There's some interesting designs there and stuff like that. But although I'm not 100% sure if Via Napoli is open at the moment, so yeah. I don't think you're going to go wrong though with going in the Mexican Pavilion. It's a good meal.
I don't really like any of them, to be honest with you. And I despise the prime time, like 50s prime time. It's terrible. It's food that you could easily make at home that you've probably eaten for your whole entire life, and it's not done any better than what you would have at home. So I don't care for that one.
But that's kind of the point. But that's kind of the point,
terrible.
Though. It's supposed to be like stuff that you would eat at your grandmother's house. Like,
yeah, but then it has to be good.
I enjoyed the food.
No, I didn't like the food there at all.
I will say the meatloaf was better than I've ever had from. Sorry, my mom didn't make good meatloaf when we were growing up.
I guess mileage may vary depending on your parents' cooking ability, I will say. But I didn't care for any of them. I'll be honest with you. None of those pushes the meter for me. I would say that, I don't know what's open, so it's kind of difficult for me to say as well, but none of those.
Yeah, this is the hard thing, is that there is restaurants opening and things seem to be changing fairly quickly. So, this conversation may not even be valid in 2 weeks. Like it's hard to say, right?
That is very true.
Yeah.
Very true. So Dan, always good for a question. If you could be a ride operator for an 8-hour shift, which ride would you choose and why? I will award bonus points to any of you for not choosing Jungle Cruise. That's very generous of you, Dan, for awarding bonus points for us for not choosing Jungle Cruise. I think this is a tough question. I want to go Haunted Mansion.
You took mine.
Sorry.
That's an easy one because you can be stoic the whole time and you can mess with people. I think that the cast members in the Haunted Mansion get to have a lot of fun.
Although from what I've heard, and I've not been on Rise of the Resistance, but I have heard the cast members within there get to have a lot of fun in character too. Especially like if you're like you could be like, some of them are like mean to you, and I think that sounds kind of fun. I guess you're not necessarily a ride operator in that sense. You're not pushing buttons or anything, but you're one of the ride staff. But I think if I were going to go a second one, I think it would be that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to work, so I don't want to do any of them. How's that sound? Eight-hour shifts? No. I don't want to stand up that long. I mean, is there a ride where I can sit down for 8 hours?
I'm sure there's a sitting option somewhere, right?
You know what? I want to be the person. I don't care what ride it is that just runs the little where the division goes between fast pass people and non fast pass people, and be able to stop all the people that try to line hop.
You just want to be able to like kick people out.
Yeah, there you go. It doesn't matter what ride it is.
All right.
Because I think that they don't check enough of those people. I feel like too many people sneak through.
That's true. People do sneak through.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trevor.
I was going to say Small World does fit your criteria for a place you don't have to stand, because the little booth above where the boats launch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can just sit up there and wave at people.
You know what? I'd either take that, or you're right. I'd take, I guess, maybe the Mine Ride where I'm just launching people, or Rock and Roller Coaster. One of those. I could sit down. That would be fine too.
What about like driving like one of the boats that's on like a track where you just basically sit
it seems
there
like
and
work. Nah, I'm out.
That feels like work.
Yeah.
You don't even have to steer.
Nah, I just want to press a button to launch people. I'm okay with that. So yeah, Mine Ride, Rock and Roller Coaster, or, any ride where I can, stop line cutters. I'm good for.
All right. Sounds like you want to be like Disney security.
No, because you know what? Disney security doesn't involve themselves in that stuff. I just want to stop line cutters.
He just wants to say no to people.
I feel like there's too much line cutting in general, so I just want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
That's great. That's really funny. Who wants to do Chris's question?
All right, Chris, I'll go then. Best out of the way quiet spot you have found to rest and relax for a few minutes? I mean, is there any other spot besides the Epcot Lounge, really? That's where I always
There's lots of spots.
What?
There's lots of spots.
I mean, that's the only place that I ever go to rest and relax. I mean, who's going to Disney to rest and relax? Are you taking a nap there? Like, I mean, is somebody napping? I don't.
I think maybe it's just more, to stop and give your feet a rest and, have a drink or whatever.
There is no stopping it. You know what? The best out of the way place is to go find somewhere to eat, I guess. Go eat. When in doubt of being tired at Disney, just go eat.
Go eat somewhere.
Yep.
It's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I know we tend to, we'll stop at Pecos Bill's in Frontierland because they have that whole inside dining area. You can kind of go in the back and it's, dark and kind of cool in there, which is always a nice break. The other one I was going to say is behind the Christmas shop in Magic Kingdom as well. There's a bunch of picnic benches back there that are really nice.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I've got a couple actually. So there's a spot we found on Tom Sawyer Island, this is very out of the way, obviously. But if you go to Tom Sawyer Island, there's a spot where there's just there's like two rocking chairs that like face out towards Big Thunder Mountain, and obviously to the river there, and it's quiet. It almost feels like you're not at Magic Kingdom. It feels like you're somewhere else. I mean, obviously you got to take a boat over to get there, so it's very out of the way. But it is a super quiet spot to just hang for a few. And then my other one would be in Magic Kingdom. Honestly, anytime our feet are tired and we need a break, we just go for a ride on the train. We just ride the train around for a little while. Just go in a big circle. It's not necessarily quiet, but it's relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
that's not really out of the way.
That's a good one. Now, this is all in Magic Kingdom. I guess, Epcot obviously has the lounge, which, we definitely capitalize on using the lounge. But
Epcot's also just got, if you go back in the World Showcase, there's a bunch of places back, deep in the World Showcase pavilions that are very quiet. You can go to, if you go back, way back down in Morocco, there's nobody down there. It's super quiet. There's a lot of hidden treasures in there.
Yeah, that's true. Is a lot of people don't go beyond really the first probably 50 feet of each pavilion.
Yeah.
So you can walk towards the back and just sit down.
Go to the land. Go to the land. You can even just chill down in the land by Sunshine Seasons there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always lots of seating down there.
I mean, even going on Living with the Land. I mean, that's a relaxing little boat ride. I mean, that's kind of nice, and there's usually not a line. I think Animal Kingdom has a ton of those little spots because they have those trails. Even if you go out to like Rafiki's Planet Watch, like there's a lot of places to relax out there. Hollywood Studios, I don't think there's anywhere you can relax. It's just always crazy, and there's not a lot of places you can go. I guess if you want to go.
I got one. Oh,
you got one?
So if you go down towards Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, on the right-hand side of the road, it's where the fruit stand is.
Oh, yeah. I know
Again, behind there's a whole bunch of benches, which, again, people like staying to the main roads, it seems. So it's always a matter of, walk a little bit further, I guess, than where you would think the area ends. And you usually end up finding, it's either like just a bunch of seating or just a small area that nobody knows about, right? Or nobody bothers to go back there.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there you go.
Nowadays, I feel like Muppets 3D is a quiet place to hang out because I feel like every time I go over there, there's nobody there.
Yeah, it needs an update.
A little bit. Although I love that. I love that show. I'll never want to see that change. Now,
to keep things moving. So Dan's question, I feel this is like
a whole show. I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't think we can answer this question.
Well, we'll just say it really quick. Maybe we just say what would our preference for the future of Disney lines be? Fast Pass, Virtual Queue, or Max Pass?
Well, I don't know how virtual queues work in reality. I've heard a lot of negative things about them right now, but I think that's more to do with the current, just the current situation that they're dealing with. Virtual queues versus Fast Pass versus Max Pass. I want to believe that virtual queues would be the preferential of all of those because it kind of combines. Fast Pass required a lot, or back in the day, like, you had to run around to get your Fast Passes, or, you have to be in the app like months ahead of time to book your Fast Passes. Whereas the virtual queue is like, you show up there that day and you get in the queue. It kind of takes it back to the more simpler version of Fast Pass, but without the running around. The only problem with the virtual queue right now is that I think they still need to tweak a little bit of, because they're allowing people to just book, like Rise of Resistance is having that problem right now where you can book it from anywhere. And I think, what seems to be happening is that what I've been hearing is annual pass holders are trying to book it. And then if they get the booking, then they'll go to the park. But if they don't get the booking, then they don't go. But what's happening there is that there's so many people trying to book stuff that people who are actually at the park or, staying on property aren't able to get, into the virtual queue. So it's definitely not, it's not at the most ideal state. I feel it has the potential, but, there's definitely some work that needs to be done before I would say, it's better than the old Fast Pass system.
I'm fine with the Fast Pass Plus system. I always have said I'm fine with it, and I'm good with it. I don't think it's perfect, but I don't think any system is going to be perfect. So I don't think I think there's always going to be people that have a hard time getting Fast Passes for things. No matter what you do, right? Even if you have a paid Fast Pass option, you're still going to have a hard time getting Fast Passes. So it's, I don't think there's any perfect solution. But I'm okay with the current Fast Pass system. Maybe I just don't want change.
Why are you going to have a problem if there's a paid Fast Pass system?
I don't have a problem.
No.
I'm just saying I don't think that's a perfect solution either.
No, that's not what you said, though. You said that you'd still have a problem getting Fast Passes. Why?
I'm just saying, like, no matter what you do, even if you got a paid Fast Pass system, there's still probably going to be limitations on it where maybe you won't be able to get a Fast Pass for a ride that you want to get on, even if it's paid.
I don't think that would be the case if the number was right. Right? Like, what I'd be looking for is, make it expensive enough that if you really want it, you're good. That's the system I would like to see.
Like, you want to guarantee, like, if you're going to pay for it, you want to be guaranteed any ride you
sure. Want. Yeah. So you got to make the number high enough that those people that want it that way, it would be a hybrid system. So if you do like a virtual queue, which is pretty much a lottery with the addition of a payment as well, right? So I could get on board with that.
I get you. I like I said, I think we can do like a whole episode about this.
Yeah, because I think the problem is if you do a paid and then the rest of it is free but not lottery, then why are people going to pay, right? And it'd be a great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it'd be a great way for Disney to make money at the end of the day, right? So so your virtual queue is always going to be there and it's always going to be a lottery. But if you want to skip past that, you pay, and that's fine. And if you don't, then you're in the lottery, and it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I
That's
know
a
what you're
perfect
saying.
system, Tom.
It's not perfect because you're leaving out people that can't afford it.
Well, no, because I mean, I think it does fall in the same vein as like how you have the dessert parties for fireworks shows.
Yep,
Sure.
Is that you can either risk finding a potentially decent spot to watch fireworks, or you pay and you get the good spot. It's the same thing, right? I agree with you on that one, Damon.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I think we should probably do the ad
Yeah.
before we talk about the due situation.
All right. This week we have DVC Rental Store. Are you a frequent Disney visitor and want to save hundreds, even thousands on your next Disney trip? DVC Rental Store wants to help you book your dream vacation for less. Currently, the DVC Rental Store has a great selection of confirmed reservations at many of Disney's most premium resorts, saving you over 60% off retail rates. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com or call 1-855-DVC-RENT, that's 382-7368, and please let them know Welcome Home sent you. Again, that's dvcrentalstore.com or 1-855-DVC-RENT.
All right. So, I saw some discussion about this in our group, and I'm a little surprised, I guess, that people are surprised that dues are going up between 3 and 6%, because I feel like we talked about this the last time that dues came out, where we knew this was going to happen again, right? Because cast members were getting raises and still getting raises through this year, and they kind of warned us the dues were gonna go up again because cast members were getting raises again, and 75% or so of the operating costs that we pay go to wages, benefits, and taxes. So and also property taxes were up a bit this year too. So those things all factor into this. So I'm not that surprised by this. I think maybe that it won't be as bad the next year. I think maybe it'll be a little bit of a less of an increase since they're pretty much done getting everybody up to the $15 per hour threshold that they were bringing all the cast members up to. And so I think that, again, though, they warned us about this. They warned us about this 2 years ago, that these raises were going to continue because the cast members were going to be getting paid more. And I think I've said before on here, I do not mind paying more in dues in order for the cast members to have a good living wage. I don't think that's, I understand that not everybody feels that way, but I'm fine with it. And, again, if taxes are going up too, that's something that needs to be paid for. And I just don't think this is all that surprising to me. Now, some of them are obviously bigger than others. Some of the increases are bigger than others, but this is what is to be expected with DVC. That dues are going to go up.
And I guess the other thing to add to that is that I know a lot of people are probably thinking about, the fact that the resorts were closed for a couple of months. So they're going, well, how come that's not being factored into the cost increase? And I think it's because, dues don't necessarily reflect the current year. It's not that that we got to the end of this year and they're saying, okay, this is for the last year. There's most likely a delay on, when we see due increases versus when they change stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if, this year we're not going to see anything. It would probably be on next year's dues that we would see any kind of adjustment, or they may do something mid-year, again, depending on, when they do the math on, when they're done processing dues and all that, they may decide to, do the credit after that. So,
well, they did say, I thought they said they were going to do it this year. And I'm assuming, the condo association meeting is coming up in December. I'm assuming we're going to find out more then, but who knows? Maybe we won't. And maybe there won't be any overages this year. There's possible that there's not any overages and, then they don't give us a credit at all. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. But I thought they originally said they were going to do it for this year. But I mean, maybe next year too.
Why not just keep that money? I mean, why do people need credits? Like DVC in and of itself is such a great deal. Like, don't you want to continue? It's like Social Security at some point, right? Like, sometimes you have to bear the brunt of it during, some off years. It is what it is. Like, really?
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's even a problem.
That's a fair point. Is this is the trade off. Is people say, hey, I want a credit on my dues because they were closed or whatever, and it's like, fine, you do that, and then the company now has to tighten their budget for the next year, and suddenly things, this goes back to what about doing extras for members? That stuff becomes less feasible because they don't have the money to do so. Right? It's either it hurts you now or it hurts you later. Right?
Exactly. So it's not like it's going up 30%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely hurts for people that have 1,000 points, right? And
you have 1,000 points, this shouldn't hurt you because otherwise you shouldn't have 1,000 points.
That's true. If you can afford 1,000 points, this is not going to be,
And it's all within side of, they made sure when I signed my contract, they're like, these are the kinds of increases you will see on average per year. This is still well with it's not like, they could have gone the other way and said, hey, we're going to cap out on, the most possible increase we could do to make sure that, we're getting, as much money from dues as possible. They didn't do that. They looked at it, just like they do every year and said, this is a reasonable increase for operating costs. So, here's the bill, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I mean, we'll have to see, because the 2021 budget statements, don't make any mention. This article that we're reading doesn't make a mention of a credit being issued for 2020, but that'll be something we'll probably see in the meeting coming up here, which will be soon. And actually, I think you can join it virtually this year.
Yeah.
Not that I want to sit there and listen to a condo association meeting. I probably won't. So I'll just read an article afterwards, summing it up for us. So, but yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about dues. I mean, I understand people are upset anytime the price of anything goes up, and it does seem counterintuitive with the reduced crowds and the reduced demand for Disney at the moment to increase costs. But you got to remember, these DVC dues are real costs, right? They're the costs that it costs basically for expenses that to run the resorts and to pay the employees and to pay the property taxes. It's not like a ticket increase. It's a different thing, right? We're paying for actual expenses here, and that's what it is. So in those things do go up. And like I said, property taxes went up this year. That's something they have to contend with and something we have to pay for. So,
and it's also, it's not a straight 1-to-1 conversion. Like you said, if a resort is closed for a week, that doesn't equate to, well, you get back X dollars, right? Like that's, there, like you said, there's a whole bunch of other costs in the back. And even while the resorts were closed, there was still, they didn't have, as many people employed, but there's still maintenance crews. There's still stuff that has to be done at resorts. And I'm sure they were still working on things.
They were still paying the benefits for those employees that were furloughed. I mean, there was expenses for cleaning and, they got to still maintain the resorts, And property taxes don't stop. So speaking of things being closed and reopened, look at that. Did you see that transition? That was good.
Yeah, that was great. So the Grand Californian finally is going to reopen.
I guess my question is why? It's going to open in December, but Disneyland's not open, and they're only opening the DVC portion. I'm guessing this is which is a very small part of the resort, right? I mean, we've talked about this before. There's very few DVC rooms at Grand Californian. So it just feels, it's like the same thing they did with, what was it? Animal Kingdom, right? Mm-hmm. Where they just opened the DVC part and not the rest of it. I don't know. It just feels, and with Disneyland not open, I guess who's staying there? Why are you staying there? Just to stay there?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
what if you have points to burn?
I was going to say that. Yeah, I think they had to try and open it because of the fact that if they don't, you're going to have an entire year's worth of points that are going to expire. This way, at least they're giving people a chance to try and use their points, even though it's, not an ideal situation. But I mean, they're also they are opening up Buena Vista Street in California Adventure. So, they're trying to do everything they can. Again, it's not, I think the difference is, you wouldn't spend a week's worth of points there. You may stay there for, maybe 2 days, but at least they're trying to deal with the excess of points that they're going to have here.
Absolutely.
Because of the fact that it's been closed longer than any other resort at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. I'm just wondering what member is going to stay there. But like you said, if you got to burn some points and you're nearby, I mean, maybe you do like a staycation for a long weekend or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if it wasn't for the fact that I would have to get on a plane, it's about a 2-hour flight to get down there, which is not bad.
Wouldn't it make you sad though, just being there and just like seeing the park and be like, I wish I could go in you, like that would make me so sad just to be there and just have it be closed.
I don't know, but the personally the Grand Californian in and of itself is a very nice hotel. Like it's the kind of place, like when we stayed there, we had no problem with just staying near the hotel. Like even the fact that you can go into California Adventure from it, knowing that that's closed though, the hotel still, like I said, I could spend, feasibly 2 days there. It's no different than, we have, about an hour away from Calgary. There's a town called Canmore, and they've got a whole bunch of mountain lodges, and the aesthetic of the Grand Californian is similar to those places in Canmore. And, we can go out there and just, spend a couple of days and just relax. Like, you can use, if you feel comfortable, there's a pool and a hot tub and stuff. But yeah, the problem is that, it's just kind of staying at a hotel. It's not staying at Disney, like you said. But, in the case of, you have points to spend, it does turn into basically, a free stay at a hotel at least, which is better than nothing.
Getting out of the house for a
few.
Yeah.
I can see why they're definitely doing their best to offer it. And again, they're just, this is just Disney doing everything they can, working with the conditions that they have to deal with there, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. Well, Damon, we're going to do your weekly segment now, the Damon Holiday Gift Guide, which I forgot to add. So thanks for adding that.
Oh, no problem. I forgot what we talked about.
Before you got on the show, Trevor was trying to figure out what he wanted for Christmas, and he was having a hard time. So I don't know if you have a category for adults.
I'm
good socks and good underwear, man. I'm telling you can't beat good underwear.
You know what? I kind of agree with you on that.
It is.
I already have some good socks and stuff, so yeah. I want some different stuff.
I don't know. Let's see. I mean, so we're just talking about adults. I mean, I got a pool table, PS5, Xbox. I mean, all that sort of stuff. Oh, actually, what I think I may end up getting though is, I told you I don't want to build an arcade myself because I'm lazy and it just is a lot of work.
I think you told us that.
Yeah, I think maybe an arcade. I don't even want to build the inside, even though I could. I have no interest in that. But I don't think this is necessarily about adults, is it? Are we talking about adults?
Well, no, you do whatever age.
I don't remember what we talked about last time.
We did toddlers because we were doing one for my daughter. Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe from the teenage standpoint, I think one of the things that is always difficult is to get the teenager stuff. And again, if you don't want to go that electronic route, which is always very difficult, a lot of these things started a while back, but what I was able to do for sports is I put together a picture of all my son's old cleats. And I found this place online. It's called Frame It Easy. It's a framing place. So even if you have Disney print or something like that, it came out awesome. They used plexiglass and the packing was like ridiculous. Like it came and I was like, oh, I'm like, how are they sending 2 pictures? Like this is going to be weird. But, that thing came packed like it was, I don't know. It came packed very well. And again, it was so cheap in comparison to going to, the stores, especially if you don't want to go out to get it done. And what I actually had done was I had them print the actual picture and I have it a weird, like kind of, those stadium pictures that are kind of longer, not really that tall. I had it printed out at that height, but I also had that Gravity Falls picture that I had drawn of my daughter printed as well from this place and framed. I tell you, it was really, really nice. So I would say that I guess you could do that for Disney person as well. So that would be something for the teenagers that I would say. Plus this clothes. Like I said, I mentioned Pruzy last time. I love it. Brad's Deal is another great area to go. But we've been doing, a lot of kind of unique clothes for kids that age. Cause again, it's funny. My 14-year-old, I asked him, what do you want for Christmas? He's like, clothes, so don't think that you're necessarily doing them a disservice getting clothes. I would say if you wanted to go kind of out on a limb and get some really interesting stuff, I know that there's this place called Sublimation Kings, and they do dye sublimation jerseys and things like that. And it's actually very inexpensive. We actually ended up doing that for my one son. Last year, I think we had a basketball jersey made for him because he does music and stuff like that, but you could have anything put on it. That place is phenomenal. Shipping was great. So something like that in terms of unique clothing is always good, I think, for the teenagers. Because gift cards are boring.
Yeah. You bring up a good point. My son, he just turned 12, and yeah, we're kind of running into the same thing where he's starting to just ask for very specific brands of clothes, stuff that his friends wear and whatnot. So yeah, I guess you're right. I guess it's funny. Like when I was growing up, it was like, when you got clothes or you got a shirt,
you got mad.
That was never like the thing, but now it seems that it is more acceptable, I guess, or it's more
of a flex for them is what it is.
Yeah.
I like to have these clothes. Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yeah. They want to flex on their clothes. So.
And I would say that's why going to some of these, like I said, places that do custom stuff. I also have, a person that I've worked with forever, that does airbrushing. It's called Unlimited Airbrush. You can find them on Facebook. And they do some phenomenal stuff. Go look. They also do, I think, mugs now as well, but their airbrush stuff is crazy. And you should see some of the ones they have for baseball and football fans. But, anything that you want airbrush, they've done some unique stuff. They've done a bag for me once for my son. They've done a couple other things. But, I'm just trying to kind of put people down the path of people that I feel like that I trusted and it all worked out well. That's usually the hard part, right? Like if you want a custom airbrush shirt, like where do you go? Right. So these are people that I know at least that, at least have sent stuff to me that did a great job, and I really enjoyed them. The other thing that I'm doing for my daughter is I'm doing a custom, recipe book. So again, depending on how old your kids are, if it's something that they cook, I think that's what it is. It's kind of finding not necessarily stuff in the electronics form that, but maybe stuff based on hobbies they like or sports that they do, and then making that unique. Or you can, like I said, save all their cleats or all their, whatever's from when they started a sport and then do something special with that.
Those are cool ideas.
Yeah. I like those. Damon, do you have, or would you be able to provide those links so that we can put them in for,
I can,
when this podcast goes up? Yeah, sure. That would be great. Cause,
yep.
Yeah, I think that's some interesting avenues to go down and explore.
Yeah, for sure.
And
all right, so that's the holiday. I got two more things though. So I got the Darkwing Duck reboot. Ugh. This is a tough one. So it's again, this is not official. So this could be under the rumor section. Put it under, the Damon's rumor section. But it doesn't look like the people that are involved with the DuckTales reboot are going to be working on it. And that's what's difficult, because I don't know if I'm in love with, I don't know. Maybe for me, it might be different. I'm not necessarily in love with the way that Darkwing is interwoven in the new DuckTales. I think there's too many characters already in the new DuckTales. So I guess maybe this will be good as they kind of pull him out into his own show. But, hopefully there'll be some continuity. I want there to be, Duckverse continuity, because if there's not, then it becomes rough again, because there was no continuity between the original DuckTales and Darkwing. And then they introduced this in the reboot, and it made it like, okay, well, there's too many people in DuckTales. That's what I have. There's too many people. And that's where I have a problem. This current season of DuckTales, though, has been great. I have liked it, enjoyed it more because we get to see more of Scrooge in them. But that will be interesting in terms of a reboot.
And so I guess the thing is with Darkwing, because even I didn't fully understand it when Darkwing originally came out, because Launchpad was both in Darkwing
different universes.
Yeah, but that was how they did, is that they explained that there was there was parallel universes going on.
We didn't have Rick and Morty back then though, so we didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. that wasn't the thought process. So yeah, maybe they'll hopefully do something like that where they'll kind of break it off and say, this is, Darkwing from, or, separate universe, separate
can't
characters,
now,
right?
They can't because they've already introduced him in that universe. That's been the problem. But again, for me, as long as they separate the two, I mean, St. Canard isn't, Duckburg, so that's okay. And if there's a little crossover every once in a while, but the problem is DuckTales, the reboot is so packed full of stuff. Like, where's Magica? We saw her for a second in the beginning of the season. Like, that's who I want to see. I want to see Scrooge. Like, I don't want to see all these other characters. I think they've done a little bit too much in terms of that. So we'll see. I mean, what does Launchpad do? Like you said, like, where's Launchpad now? Is he gone?
Yeah.
What show is he in?
I guess the other thing I would wonder too is, do you suppose maybe they're because Gravity Falls kind of did that for a bit where it seemed like they were going off in a weird side stories, but then they kind of brought everything back at the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think that this is that sort of show, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting enough that this season that we have, the executives being part of Fowl. I mean, again, to bring Fowl back into the mix, to bring Duckwing back into the mix, Darkwing back in the mix. I don't know. We'll see how it all pans out. But the fact that, Frank and Matt aren't involved is a little scary. So, but this next thing I want to talk about, man, I'm super excited about this.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm watching the video of it, and I don't understand how this works. And I also don't understand. I was
you
just
don't
thinking
understand how
myself,
snow
what would
works?
you wear?
Okay, do we need Bill Nye to come in and teach us how snow works?
First, let's explain what it is.
God, so this is a Snowcat Ridge official resort, which is an alpine snow park in Florida.
But it's
it's outside.
Outdoors. It's 90 degrees. Like, how's that possible?
That doesn't work. It does not work.
You don't think it's going to work? I guarantee you it's going to work.
Well,
okay.
But here's my question. Like, what do you even wear? Like, you're not going to wear a heavy snow jacket, but at the same time, you don't want to wear short sleeves.
Okay.
No. You're wearing a heavy snow jacket. What are you talking about?
No. But it's going to be 95 degrees out. You're going to die from that.
Tom, I have gone skiing in a t-shirt before. It is doable. I'm telling you this.
I mean, there's going to be an Arctic igloo area. So if you look at it, what we really have here is we have a slope, right? Which is just like sleigh riding down those slopes, which I feel is a little commercial, but
it's tubing. Right?
It's tubing, yeah, which is a little commercial to me. But then there's this igloo and play in real snow and this alpine village. Like, look at what's so interesting is, like, if you look at the people on the slopes, they're in t-shirts, but then you look at the people in the alpine village, they're in winter coats, scarves, and hats. So I think you might have to change like 3 times because you're not playing in snow. You're not playing in snow in a t-shirt.
Okay.
No.
You're not.
Well, apparently Trevor has.
Well, no. Skiing is different though. Like, if you skied and then hung out in the snow or building a snowman, you're doing that in a t-shirt. No, skiing is different.
No, you just put on some gloves and you can be in a t-shirt and be outside playing in the snow.
For how long though?
When I was a kid, I don't know, the afternoon.
You're used to the cold, though. We're not used to the cold over here.
So I guess the thing to understand is, where I come from, we have these things called Chinooks, which is basically a warm weather system that will come through. So it'll be like -10, and it can go up to +10 Celsius. So I guess you can figure out what the swing is in Fahrenheit on that. But when it gets up to +10, when you're used to -10, you can go outside in a t-shirt and it feels like summer almost. And you can, like I said, I see it all the time. Kids will be at school and they'll be rolling snowballs and making snowmen in the school field, and they'll be out there in their t-shirts. So, you do get acclimatized to it. This is where my, you have your things about food. I have, this snow, whatever they're using to manufacture the snow, it's probably not going to feel as good as a real snowfall. It's probably going to be very,
you're just assuming here, Trevor.
So I just don't know how it doesn't melt instantly. Like, I could see them making it, but like, how does it not melt immediately?
So we have snow machines when out on the ski hills there is a very clear difference between the snow made by a snow machine and natural snowfall.
Correct, right? But that's also not a brand new place. Maybe they have special snow machines. We don't know. We don't.
Special magic snow machines
that add air into it to create it light and fluffy snow, not that snow machine snow.
There's a big fan in a snow machine. It's literally just a fan that blasts water out, and
but incorporating air into the mixture like a croissant. You don't know. But here's the problem:
fold the snow 3 times.
But think about it. It's just like the ice machine. Maybe it's the good ice, the chewy snow.
Chewy ice.
All right. So here's the problem I'm having. In the Arctic igloo, guests may not throw snowballs or engage in snowball fights.
Then what's the point?
Guests may not eat the snow either.
That right there tells me.
It says this is real snow.
Oh, I'm
snow
sure
is wet, cold, and slippery. Recommend wearing warm, water-resistant clothes.
You can get snow out of deep freeze. Like literally, you can just scrape the side. And that's technically
I'm going to tell you this: in a place where we don't have snow, like North Carolina, if I can go get snow in Florida, I'm in.
So now you understand my obsession with Dole Whips.
That's funny.
No, but okay.
Yeah, no, it's this same ideas. We don't normally have access to certain things, so when
you could have Dole Whips at home. You could have the machine and everything. You could have the same exact machine. I can't create clouds, right? Like at the end of the day, I can't do that. If I gave you $3,000, you can make the same Dole Whip at home.
True, but the barrier for entry on it.
I agree with you. Speaking of food, though, before we get into food, food, is that so I'm very close on my blondie recipe. You know how I get real close to perfection. I found another blondie recipe this week. It was funny. Me and my daughter were just watching the Food Channel, not anything in particular. It was just live TV, which is like a rarity. And one of the chefs, the bakers, was making blondies again. And she went through the process with a bunch of different tips and tricks to make blondies. Dude, blondies are hard to make. Let me tell you, they're really hard because they're not like a brownie. They're not a cake. Like it's super hard to make them. But I was so close, and they would have been perfection. But I skipped the end is she had like, I don't know what size pans they were because she didn't really say what size pans they were because it wasn't an official recipe. And I was a little lazy, so I said, you know what? I have silicone cake, 9-inch cake things. And she even said on the show, she's like, these are going to be thin. And I kind of tried to put them in, split it up. The batter's enough to do 2. I split it up into the silicone cake things, and I put them in the oven, cook for 30 minutes. And it just a little bit undercooked on the bottom and a little bit perfect on the top, but I knew like they needed to be in longer because I had them too thick. They need to go thinner, but I do have, like I said, I think the recipe was 100% a winner for sure. So I'm close though.
Nice. Do we want to start talking about food since you just, kind of brought us there? We got our holiday food preview here.
Yeah.
This has been like my favorite part of our recent episodes is talking about food. So
all right, so this link that you put in for the downtown Disney. Holy, this is
there's some stuff here.
This is quite the list.
Yeah, this is just for Disney Springs. We'll have I believe they're gonna just slowly start putting some stuff out because we still don't have the Epcot stuff yet. So, but this is just the desserts basically at Disney Springs. So.
Now, yeah, there's no way we can go through this whole list. Like this is a massive list. So.
Well, let's go with some of the bigger ones here. So like Emirates, right?
All right, you just got
Black Forest Parfait.
You just gotta, I say we just got to pick what you want. We don't go through all of them. So what do you want?
Yeah. Okay.
What's your favorite?
Yeah. I'm looking through the list right now, and I'm trying to find the thing that I'm like, I will if I got off the bus at Disney Springs, this would be like the first place I would go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Black Forest Parfait, even though it's got cherry liqueur. I think I'm still in on that.
So wait, we're just going to go by section then?
Yep, just by section, your favorite thing.
Yeah.
We've already discussed. Now we're already taking way too much time to talk about the rules here. But yes, one thing, one section. Let's go.
All right. I'm going, you know what? The Black Forest Parfait sounds pretty good. I might have to go with that.
See, I want the Jolly Holiday Float because cranberry
Not even
orange
in that
juice.
section. Where are you?
Yeah, what are you doing, dude?
I'm in the parks blog. Are you not looking?
Amarettes.
We're at Amaretto.
Oh no!
We're doing
Oh, okay,
dissection.
you're way up at the top. Oh, you're okay. I get it.
Oh my goodness.
I thought because there's like 3 other links. That
We could have talked about every single thing at this
I
point.
did send you a lot of links.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I figured we were going link by link. You want to go through each section in this
Yeah.
link? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Amarettes. There's nothing there I want.
Okay, good. All right.
Really?
Aristocrapes. There's no more discussion. I'm flip-flopping between the Cherries Jubilee Bubble Waffle or the Eggnog Crepe. Those are both very good, though.
I would want the eggnog crepe.
I'm going Cherry Jubilee Bubble Waffle because the Bubble Waffle looks delicious.
All right. We're only picking ones that have more than one thing. The ganachery. I want none of that.
Wait, can we at least talk about the Gobbler Poutine? Because that sounds amazing.
No.
Shredded turkey, gravy,
No.
and cheese curd. I know, sacrilege. I know.
I mean, then we might as well be talking about the pumpkin bread pudding. I mean, no, we can't talk about everything.
All right, ganachery.
I don't want anything at the ganachery.
I'm in for the Mickey Santa pinata. Dark chocolate pinata. I mean, dark chocolate pinata decorated like Mickey Santa filled with marshmallow treats. You break that thing open. They give you like a little hammer. You get to break it open. I'm down for hitting some chocolate.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work, and I don't feel like it would have the payoff.
All right, we doing Ghirardelli? Is Ghirardelli on this?
Nothing I want.
I don't know. White chocolate caramel steamer sounds awesome to me.
The peppermint
wonder-
hot cocoa would be good.
Yeah.
All right, I have to actually go to the other podcast. I was trying to figure out if I could do both of them at once. I guess I can't. We went over our limit here. We're already at 1:15. All right, I bid everyone
that's
to
fine.
do.
We can finish up the food then.
Yeah, there's nothing else on the food list that I even want. So,
All right.
you
Okay,
guys are good.
so where can people listen to you since they know that you're leaving us?
BoomtronPodcast.com. Netflix stuff
you go.
while you're sitting at home doing nothing, I guess, with all your vacation you built up like me. All right.
Nice. All right.
All right.
So we still got Jock Lindsay's Holiday Bar.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go here. Oh, this isn't even like desserts. Like this
is like regular food. Grandma's favorite sliders, which is venison sausage sliders. I think I'm out on that.
Yeah. The cranberry bacon jam feels like it would be a bit of a turnoff.
Let me see. I don't know if I see anything I'm into here. I mean, milk and cookies always, right?
Yeah, definitely milk and cookies would be nice. Although I can't drink milk, but I would still have the cookies.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Jack Lindsay's isn't really appealing to me. The mac and cheese, the fried mac and cheese is always appealing to me, but it's not clear to me how that's holiday oriented in any way. But I'm always down for fried mac and cheese.
They're just like, hey, we got mac and cheese in between eating all these sweets. So yeah, I guess maybe that's the draw there is, if you're looking for something savory, because these are a lot of sweet treats. And so, to go down to, or we're passing Marketplace snacks now. Like I said,
I think we should go to Sprinkles now. We can go. I think we need to go down to Sprinkles, the cupcake place. Double stuffed Oreo cupcake seems like the winner in my mind. Although cannoli cupcake is up there too. Although you know what, I love cannolis, but this is pistachio cake. I'm not in for pistachio. So
you wouldn't want a gingerbread cupcake with cream cheese frosting.
I'm not a big gingerbread fan. I like gingerbread, but it's not.
That's perfect. With cream cheese frosting on a gingerbread cupcake, I'm in.
Are you telling me you don't want a double stuffed Oreo cupcake?
No, I
that
don't.
Sounds amazing.
No, I don't. I would prefer gingerbread over an Oreo.
Yeah, I mean, I would eat the gingerbread cupcake. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to eat it, but like, I don't know. Just the double stuff sounds good to me. Although it isn't very Christmassy. I'll say that. It's I would say more the Christmas cookie cupcake, which is also up there for me too. Because it has a little sugar cookie on it too. That feels very Christmassy. But you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'd eat the gingerbread one. I'd have it.
Yeah, I guess my thing is, a lot of these are like the Christmas cookies. It's a lot of sugar, whereas I know gingerbread is a sweet treat, but the spice of it, I feel balances like it's. There's enough spice there that it doesn't feel like you're just eating, sugar with sugar with sugar, right? So yeah.
I think we should go all the way down to Gideon's now, at the very bottom.
Gideon's.
Which is not open yet. But they are going to have 2 limited time cookies, a Santa's White Christmas cookie, which is white chocolate chip cookie filled with coconut, sweet caramel, vanilla, and nutty flavors, with freshly ground, locally roasted coffee beans throughout. Not my jam, but I'm sure it would be for some people.
You
and
don't
then
like coffee beans?
The one I want, good, sorry.
You don't like coffee beans?
I don't drink coffee, so I'm not a coffee fan, yeah.
Well, they're good, and I've had them in cookies and stuff before. They're good.
Yeah, just, I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of anything coffee related. I'm more about this cookie
Von
Krampus. Yeah. Deep, dark, triple chocolate velvet textured cookie filled with Andes mints. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Especially, I've heard their cookies are incredible, so.
Yeah, and again, between these two, a white chocolate cookie versus a dark chocolate cookie, I will take the dark chocolate cookie. That's an easy one.
Yeah, no, I'm good with. I like both. I prefer milk chocolate personally, but either way, I'm good as long as chocolate's involved. I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
So. All right, so off of the Disney Parks blog ones, I just look some of these other ones that I'm sure we're going to see in our preview later. But how about a sugar and spice Christmas churros with eggnog? I'm not an eggnog fan. I don't know about you. Not an eggnog.
I love eggnog.
Really?
I really do. My wife hates the fact, like my wife does not like eggnog at all, and she hates the fact that I buy eggnog, and she's like, "Why do you why is that in the fridge? Nobody else is going to drink it." I was like, "Yeah, I will drink the eggnog over like 2 weeks if I have to."
Well, these are supposedly Christmas cookie churros with icing. I'm in for that. That sounds delicious to me. I like any churro, but Christmas cookie churros with icing looks awesome to me.
Now, what is it says with eggnog okay. Sorry. From the preview, I thought it was like they did
that they drizzled the eggnog on top.
Yeah.
Like
no, they actually serve it with a glass of eggnog. Okay.
Yeah. That you actually get a glass of eggnog with.
All right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely go for that.
I'm looking at this Yuletide Wishes Yule log cake. Oof.
That's a lot of chocolate.
If you like if you don't like chocolate, then you got a problem here. But this is a chocolate cake filled with chocolate mousse and covered in chocolate ganache. I'm down for this. I love chocolate, so I would be all about this. But if you don't like chocolate, you're going to have a hard time.
How many more times can we say chocolate?
Chocolate. Yeah.
No,
it looks delish.
Yeah, I feel that would be my only love-hate with these kinds of things is that, yeah, it looked like I know I would enjoy probably about the first 3 bites of it, and then it would be too much chocolate, I feel. Like I don't know if I would actually finish it.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. That makes sense. I see. I'm all for it. I love that kind of stuff. So give me as much chocolate as possible, and I'm happy.
Now this last one, the Belle's Enchanted Christmas Tree.
Yeah,
I like the presentation. I like the green macaroons with the red icing.
Yeah, and it's almond macaroons layered with cranberry orange filling. See, I feel like I'm out on this. I'm not a cranberry fan, and this also looks like it'd be a pain in the butt to eat.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it would be like a knife and fork kind of meal, or snack.
Where you take one tier off, each tier off as you eat it.
Now, I guess here's my thing. A couple of times now, like there was that float that I was looking at that has the cranberry in it, but I feel like people. This seems to be a thing is that, every year it's like there's a flavor that everyone kind of gravitates to. I don't know who decides this, but it's like, how it's like, everything was pumpkin spice there for a while. And I feel like, they were like, oh, we need something Christmassy. Throw cranberry in. Cranberry doesn't work with everything.
I don't like cranberry at all. Like, I know lots of people do, and I'm probably making people mad, but I'm not a cranberry fan.
See, I like cranberry sauce. Like, I will have it with my meal on, at Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I don't want it in everything. And in this case in particular, you've got an almond macaroon and then this cranberry.
Did it say cranberry orange? Is that what I read?
Cranberry orange, yeah.
Yeah. It's like that's like Gaston's Tavern too.
Yeah,
cranberry orange filling. That just seems like a weird combination to me. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like because cranberries are naturally very tart, right? I feel like it would be a little too tart. Like you would be expecting more of a sweet, and just I guess when people are making these things, you don't have to just like, pick cranberry and see how many different ways you can shove it in. Like
I will say though, the review here is pretty positive. It says it's very good. So
okay, well, yeah,
I'm not a macaroon fan either. I'm not a macaroon fan personally, but
yeah, I don't mind them. I'm just not.
That's where I'm at too. Like if one's in front of me, I will eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get macaroons.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's we're way over time here, so we should probably just wrap this thing up, right?
Yeah, that's okay though. I'm sure people will enjoy the extra discussion. Yeah. But
it was a weird episode because Damon was late and then left early.
Yeah. Well, he actually left on time. We're the ones who are running late, so I'll give him that one.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, go ahead and wrap us up.
All right. So for any questions, any comments, if you guys ever want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. We always get listener questions by mail. We always have great conversations with you guys. And, we just love interacting with you. So, please feel free to reach out to us there. If you want to find us on Facebook, you can find us as Welcome Home Podcast. And if you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can also find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. And also back to Facebook, if you want to join the group, look for Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. That is our group, and we have a really great community in there with a lot of our questions come from there as well. So, if you want to get in on the questions, if you want to get in on some of the discussions after the podcast, it's a great place to, hear some of our listeners' thoughts. And I love seeing how, people will post things based on things that we said on the podcast, and it fuels a lot of good, fun discussion. So make sure you
usually involving Damon being mean to me. I don't know if you noticed that.
yeah, sometimes, yeah. Or people trying to sell me on buying furniture from the Polynesian and stuff.
Well, there's that too. Yeah,
but make sure you guys join the Facebook group because we do have fun over there. Also, if you do happen to have Instagram, you can follow us on there as Welcome Home Pics. We are posting there, so you can follow our Instagram stories. I guess honestly I don't fully understand Instagram.
Instagram is.
That's more. Damon has been running that, but we can definitely you can follow us there at least. And if you guys want to possibly pick up some of our merchandise, go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com. We have face masks there if you're needing face masks, whether it's going to the park or just wearing around town.
Out and about.
Yeah, exactly. You never I'm seeing all kinds of face masks nowadays, so why not have a Welcome Home Podcast one? And as usual, if you guys found us on iTunes or Spotify or Amazon Music or any of those other services, please make sure you leave us a review because it does actually help more people find the podcast. And we also like hearing the feedback from you guys.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. As Trevor mentioned, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any place you can find podcasts. You can find our show. Just search for Welcome Home. Look for the one that says Disney and DVC. And then, as always, just as a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We're not employed by the Walt Disney Company, and as such, any and all opinions we express on this show are our own. So please consult the DVC representative or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you, as always, to DVC Rental Store for sponsoring this episode. Please check them out if you want to rent out your points or you want to rent out some DVC points to take a next trip. And of course, join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion and more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit its hair. How she can cuddle is no